Hey YouTube, welcome to my channel. This is Dylan Siegel, and we are going to continue building my trading algorithm. Yeah, let's get right into it, guys. Uh, where did we leave off? So we were just testing the back testing engine, and yeah, let's get back into it. I'm pretty sure I added a little bit more code to it, but we'll get right back into it. If you have any questions, let me know. Um, yeah, if you're an aspiring quant dev and are inspired by what I do here, go ahead, let me know. I'm trying to create a community where we all kind of share our edge and build out strategies together. So let's see what's going on in my backtest project. Um, so as you can see, we got the backtest file. We have a config file, um, which is going to be where we tune the strategy. So trading algorithms, you have a bunch of these sort of indicators. For example, we're using a couple variants of order flow and balance, and we'll end up tuning these strategies to get the bot to enter and close the positions in a profitable way. So, as you can see, I'm glad to share this strategy. This took me maybe all of 30 minutes to get out. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and just run back tests on it and see if it's profitable, right? And then if it's profitable, we'll move on to paper live trading. Obviously, if I get like a crazy good result, we'll just throw some money at it live and see how that works out. But usually I'll go back test, then I'll go live paper trading, which is pretty similar to real life, and then we'll run it live on Hyperliquid. So we're gonna restart this just to keep things updated. Okay. Let's get our tools ready here. Yeah, we're gonna go Grok, we're gonna go ChatGPT, we're gonna go Gemini. We'll get Quant in there today. We'll throw AI Studio in there. Sometimes I like that. DeepSeek might as well. And then of course, Open Router. We've been using. Oh wow. Huh. Okay. Interesting. So they've added new models here. Now, is this one free? Is that I am a little bit confused here because okay. So that kind of confirms that Horizon Beta is probably ChatGPT 5, but we will see that. I think there's some sort of light interference here. No, we're still getting that. There we go. Okay. So let me just double check what is going on with these. We're gonna we're gonna test this out. So this looks like ChatGPT OSS has just come out on Open Router. Let's just double check that our open models are here. Wow, okay. Cool. Let's test it out. Let's see if it's any good. This is exciting. Ooh. So what variants are there? I could probably I don't know if this is free or not. 120 billion. It's a mixture of expert model. So only 5 billion. So it's optimized to run on H100. All right, let's see. Okay. Um, can already kind of tell it's not as good as Horizon Beta, just from that one. It's kind of, uh, they're not going to release their best thing as, their open source model. So, um, so it's a reasoning model. Okay. Below is a concise bug hunt. Let's see if they dropped any sort of hints at what it's doing on. Actually, let's just see what's going on here. Do they have them in here? No, they don't. Okay, that's weird. Well, I guess they host it on Open Router. All right. So I would like to know about the like how it performed on the benchmarks. So I can check that on my phone here. Okay. They have a red teaming challenge for 500,000. This could be interesting. I honestly just want to move back to Horizon Beta because I've been getting really good results with Horizon Beta. But let's look at what okay, you can fine tune it. All right, well, we're gonna just go right back to what I know works really well. So you can see that if I paste this into Horizon Beta, we're gonna get a better answer. See, right? They're already looking at okay. So I'm gonna just give it a little bit of help here. So tick is okay. We'll stop it and then lower the update for all code files. All right, we're gonna just set it to 1. All right. Okay, so Horizon Beta clearly is way better than all the open source ones that they released. It just makes sense because Horizon Beta is more than likely ChatGPT 5. I know that's speculation, but I believe it because it is very good. Okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna set tick size to $1. Okay, simplify and tolerance protect processor lock. All right, once we get this code, then we'll run it through Grok, and then we'll probably just run the back test to see what happens. Okay. Honestly, I don't even think I could run a 30 billion parameter. We can look at X to see. Let's see here. Let's see. Oh, okay. So here's some. Just release our open weights. Then GPT-2. Wow, it's been a while. Each prompt. Okay, let's just see. So it's up there. Okay, that's like humanity's last exam. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. Somehow O3 without tools is really bad. I'm not sure if. Okay, so this is with tools. Okay, I see. Okay, okay. So it is actually better than O3 at coding, which wow. Competition math. It's really good at math. All right. What is Horizon Beta? Benchmarks. Okay. Okay. This guy's saying Horizon Alpha and Beta are GPT-5 Nano and Mini. They are way ahead of GPT OSS models, which suck, by the way. And you have a little intuition, but I hit it once and it gave me all that emoji stuff, and I could tell that it's 4.0 reminiscent of that style. So definitely, if you're gonna do any sort of coding, Horizon Beta is the way to go. We'll get config here, and then we'll get core. All right, we're gonna pull context. We'll get that. We're going to, oh yeah, okay. So we'll give we'll throw in the data with it as well. So yeah, if you guys want to learn how to code, it's never been easier. As you can see, I'm coding completely with just the natural, just with English. And I know a lot of people use Claude Code and all of that. It's not the way to go because being involved with it, you're going to get a better result. And just you kind of understand the code a little bit better if you're involved. Like this is my manual vibe coding. Okay. So giving that information to it spit out some changes here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to grab that. We're just gonna not what I wanted. Okay. There we go. Make sure we're on expert. We'll get Grok in here to see. Hello. Anyone have any questions? We're building a trading algorithm. I can summarize what the algorithm is, please. Alpha of the. We'll get a nice little concise summary just to bring it down a couple sentences. And yeah. Usually it takes Grok a couple minutes to.
Yes. Matt, I want AI to build all of my programs. Which one should I use?
All right. The best one right now for free, you're going to go to openrouter.ai Horizon Beta. Completely free. You just need an email. And I've coded this entire project with Horizon Beta, and you can utilize other paid services, but Quen is free. So if you use Quen3 Coder, you can go to aistudio.google and use Gemini 2.5 Pro for free. If you have if you, for some reason, you have a really big code file you need to get context on, this is going to be great for that. But right now, the best one is a free model called Horizon Beta. And people think it's ChatGPT 5. People are speculating on that. Don't get caught up in these new, in the new open source ones. Can you type it? Yeah. So you want, here, I got you. Open, well, here. I'll just copy paste it here for you. Yes. So you're going to go to Open Router. So you're going to go there, and then it'll look like this here. It'll look like this. You'll sign in, but then you'll go to chat, right? And then you'll add model, and then you can choose these new open AI, open source ones, but I use Horizon Beta. It's really, really, it's doing really well. Okay, it's really good at thinking about trading algorithms and all of that, and just in general giving me really good code. But I've only tested it with Python, so I'm not sure what. Actually, I've tested it with JavaScript, and it actually had some pretty good user interfaces as well. So all around, it's really good. All right, we're gonna check out what Grok has to say here. Okay, and then we'll go here. And then I just got ChatGPT Plus yesterday. Yeah, now O3 is good, right? I actually use it the least out of all of these things. So I usually go to Grok 4 between Horizon Beta and Grok 4. And O3, honestly, I find it's okay, but it's not the best. It's good. It'll get you going, but if I ask it to give me like a novel AI trading strategy, it's not thinking as much as the other models. It's kind of limited in the way it can think. Grok 4 will go off the chain and like give you a crazy idea. It'll go like quantum level sort of thinking. Now Horizon Beta will legitimately tell you like, no, I can't do that, but we can think about it this way. So it'll stop itself from going too esoteric. But yeah, for trading algorithms specifically, like honestly, Horizon Beta, Grok 4 are the perfect tools. But you can use ChatGPT. Like just get going. Getting started is that's all you need. You really only need, and to be honest, ChatGPT is going to be on top when they release Horizon Beta. So it's good that you have it already. They won't code hacking scripts. Okay, so you're going to have to prompt engineer around that. You can't tell it, oh, I need to hack this. You're going to have to somehow confuse it to a way that will get you that code. I'm not sure. What are you trying to hack? Hack the neighbors? You're going to need hardware. You're not going to be able to hack the neighbors without hardware. You just buy something online. That if you're trying to hack the neighbors, you need some sort of like Wi-Fi. You'll need hardware, like IP pen testing. I don't know what that is. Well, I'll see if. Okay. Oh, penetration testing. Okay. Yeah, that's too easy. You can get AI to do that. But I'll get some Rust code here for you. look, it's giving me, look, education purpose only. Quen3 coder will give you an IP address penetration testing. Now, this is not to use, don't use it on any nefarious actions, but look, I got it right here. So, be like, make it more advanced. I don't even use type right. Look, it's making it even more advanced. This is Rust code, which I like to code in Rust. Is that for your network or someone else's? What do you mean? My project is for me only. I'm interested in like doing quantitative finance stuff with Python or any language, but Python happens to be the best one to for my purposes because on Hyperliquid, which is the hacking one. Oh, that's Quen3 coder. I could give you that in the chat too here. That's free as well. That's free also. That's the Chinese open source version. Or actually, yeah, they do have this open source. So if you have the GPU power, you could remove all the filters from these things. But if you need a network penetration software, like honestly, legal disclaimer, yeah, they'll just legal disclaimer all over this. So I don't know. Hacking is not that cool, dude. Just make trading algorithms. But yeah, apparently this could be used for nefarious. But that's like, you can get any code you want nowadays. You just have to know how to prompt it. But that's not what we're doing. We are trading. We are using software to trade. We are definitely not using it to hack. But I'm glad to help people out, whatever they want to do, as long as they're coding. Let's see. All right. What did we get here? We got yeah. All right, let's see what changes. Okay, so the $1 tick data. Okay. You know what? We're gonna get config. Okay, I think it tuned it a little bit. All right, we get core, which is the core idea here. And then we'll get backtest. Okay. So I'm getting my context here. We're gonna go here. I'm not gonna do network penetration testing. I will be, all right, let's see. Summarize the alpha and edge in PhD level detail. We will see how good this one is at summarizing. All right, so my core alpha generation, my signal generation is coming from indicator calculation. So that's usually how algorithms work. You have the raw tick data and you have the raw order book data. It's really noisy and you need to perform math on those, on that raw data in order to get a list of a bunch of different indicators. So these are going to be all my strategy knobs, as they call it. And this is what we're going to tune in order to dial in the entry and exit price. So this strategy is actually based off of order flow imbalance, but it takes it a step beyond just order flow imbalance. We're going into order flow imbalance across 3 time scales: short, medium, long. So OFI measures the net buying or selling pressure based on trades weighted by proximity to the mid price. Okay, mid price could be an issue for Hyperliquid because it is tick size $1. So it means if it's calculating the mid price at 50 cents a lot of the time, that could throw something off. But I'm pretty sure that's not what's going on here. Okay, using depth alpha. Okay. The use of multiple timescales captures potentially persistent flow signals. So the whole idea is I'm trying to take microstructure indicators and then project that edge further out in time. My latency, when I click market buy on Hyperliquid, it takes anywhere from 500 milliseconds to 1.5 seconds for me to receive that signal back saying, hey, you bought. So that is going to be ultimately the limiting factor in how quickly I can trade. But in reality, even if I could trade quicker, I still need to hit $100 to $200 moves on Bitcoin in order to break even from the fees. So no matter what, I'm going to have to project these signals forward. So we got micro price. Delta calculates the difference between the micro price, a size weighted mid price with this formula here, and then the standard mid price. This measures the immediate imbalance at the top of the book, indicating potential short-term directional bias. It's sensitive to the relative sizes of the best bid and ask. Okay. Calculates a simple, okay, L1 imbalance. So this is going to be an order book thing. Calculates a simple size imbalance. This is the more direct measure of bid-ask size disparity at the top level. And then we have CA asymmetry, present in the code, but configured with a weight of 0. Oh, indicating its placeholder. Okay, so when you design these sophisticated algorithms, sometimes, oh, okay, I see here, set to 0 is a placeholder. So we're gonna have to fix that. So this is the trading strategy. It's pretty sophisticated. So we're gonna, okay, so let's keep running through it, I guess. So at the core of a trading algorithm, we're gonna have the indicators. You know, use whatever math you have. I'm using microstructure level indicators, but that's just part of the algorithm. So we need the alpha filtering and decision logic. So this is, I guess, what they call the edge. So here's the raw alpha inputs. We got the normalization, z-scores, regime filtering, and we're gonna combine all those signals. So, okay, so generating a signal is one thing. Acting on it profitably is another. The edge comes from how the strategy manages the signal to extract value while mitigating costs and risks. So this is the decision engine. So every algorithm is going to have the indicators, and then we're going to go into a decision engine, how to use these numbers to act on. So essentially, these numbers are going to be ticking all over the place, and then you need to find a way to act on those numbers, because these numbers on themselves aren't going to give you the, you know, they're not going to be able to let you to trade. Now, these alone could be really nice indicators for, let's say, like a trading view indicator, like a RSI or Bollinger Band. All those are just visual representations of indicators. So now the thing is, oh, it looks like we're popping back off here. All right. Where was that? We were over here. Okay. You know what? We'll continue into the strategy later, but all we have to know is there are indicators, there's a decision engine, there's going to be some risk management, and that's kind of the, so I'll just do the summary. In summary, the alpha lies in the composite signal S-cone. So we combine all these things into this one sort of variable, derived from multiple microstructure indicators, normalized and potentially reliability weighted. The edge comes from the discipline framework that filters this signal. Thresholds, hysteresis, cost buffer, manages risk, loss limits, rate limits, spread checks, size positions, and executes with explicit cost modeling. The strategy success hinges on the genuine predictive power of its signals. Okay, so at the end of the day, these are gonna what generate the edge. The robustness of its filtering logic and accurate, okay. So at the end of the day, you're trying to avoid being spoofed. You're trying to avoid being fake out. There's certain adversarial things that you can do in the market, and that's what you're trying to filter out. So there's a whole lot of things that can go into a trading strategy, and this one's fairly sophisticated, probably more sophisticated than anyone's ever seen online, probably. All developed by AI. So, and this is what I would consider a traditional algorithm. We're gonna move, like, once I move into AI algorithms, this can get even more complicated, and we're definitely gonna move on to that eventually. But right now, I want to get like a baseline of, for example, we'll do this one, and then this will be the first baseline we have. So, all right, let's restart everything here. We're going to, yep, we're gonna restart everybody's context. We need this way over here. All right, we're gonna grab this, which is, I ran a bunch of audits on the data because we're working with high frequency data, these Parquet files. We got BTC fills and BTC order book. I had to, it took a lot of time to make sure that this data was good, and it was very difficult to deal with it because when you download it from a Hyperliquid, you get data is not ready to use. Let's just say that. So maybe if anyone wants to show interest in these clean data files, I could potentially put those up on a GitHub, but I would have to chunk them out into 100 megabyte. I'd have to figure out a way to host it on GitHub. Or I could share the code to download the stuff from Hyperliquid. But either way, let's just continue on. So, okay, I don't want that placeholder. So ensure no placeholders in the code. Ensure it be profitable. Review. Yeah. All right. We'll get that in there. We'll see what Grok has to say. We'll see what everyone has to say here. Might as well. Oh. That. See what DeepSeek's got. Horizon Beta, yep. 45% on, okay. Wow. I don't know if that's accurate at all. Okay, that's probably not that accurate. Let's see. All right, well, we'll get off that. I don't know how accurate those benchmark pictures are. Okay. What did it find? Thanks for sharing your log. Okay, key findings. Remove the only remaining placeholder. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what the CAA symmetry was supposed to be. Okay, so it needs some tuning. We will, we'll just give it all of the ideas from the other. Wait, what? Plug in new feature, clamp quotes, and calibrate. I don't trust any of that, but okay. Profitable. Oh, shared code is profitable. Output full. Shared code is profitable. And shared code is profitable. Output full code files. Prompts don't need to go that deep. You've got to keep prompting it until it gets where it needs to be. But yeah, we're gonna get that placeholder removed, and yeah, we'll run some back tests. I don't know how long the back test will take. they've been taking, not too long, but depending on the feature engineering that we're doing, could make it a lot. So the last back test report that we did, we took, so over 2 or 3 months, we took 268 trades, and I'm pretty sure it liquidated me almost immediately. So we're focusing on 40x leverage, tick size 1. Yeah, it left me with 22 cents, and I only started with 1,000 on that one. So we're going futures only. Yeah, so this to me says the data was fine and it worked out. So I'm gonna delete that, but we'll get some sort of we'll get another back test gun. Okay, implemented a real. Perfect. Okay, instead of getting rid of it, it's aggressor asymmetry using fills. Okay. Yeah, that was probably pretty decent edge. So let's focus on, are we missing any other microstructure indicator? Are we seeing any alpha or edge potentially? Maybe novel new math you think about? I like to always prompt it with novel or first principle thinking and stuff like that. You usually get a better output when you do that. All right, Bitcoin. What do we got? What do we got? Okay.
Any questions from anybody?
Let's check this out. All right, we're live. Okay. Looks like Bitcoin's gonna break out here. Or it'll pull back here. Never know. All right. Let's get back tests in here. Let's get config up and running. Okay. And the core is probably just going to be gigantic. Yeah. We'll wait for that to finish up here. Yeah. New open AI, open source model. Probably not that good. All right. Let's see what Grok has to say. Okay, maybe wants to add some VPN. Okay, non-AI. I should have specified. So let's look here. We'll give it this, but I'm gonna prompt it in a specific way that run market data in your head and run the current strategy through some market data in your head, talk through it, find areas for improvement or tuning the config file for better entry and exit. Think deeply on AI. we'll just see if we can get anything a little bit better. Okay, VPin. Of course it wants to go for VPin, but VPin light. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. I don't want just normal, like VPin's all over the place. Like VPin is more than likely decayed in there in the edge. So new edges to add, low engineering lift, orthogonal to what you have. Toxicity filter via VPin light. Okay. Buckets flow by cumulative volume instead of time. High VPin means flow is one-sided and likely informed. Market tends to either trend hard or mean revert violently after exhaustion. Okay. You know what? I'm into it. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Output full code files for files that need changing. All right. Let's go. So this is by far one of the most advanced strategies that I've probably ever developed. Many times you'll see very, very simple, like you'll see algorithms based off of these sort of like RSI or Bollinger Band or these sort of indicators, right? Stuff that you have to use K-line data for, like 1 minute K-line. I do not think you can pull. I think you can pull tick data, but you can't pull the order book flow. So, in the meantime, we're going to start a new file. We're going to call this live paper. And with this one, we're going to just start, well, actually, so this is what I do when I start a new Python project. Just make the thing, open up in VS Code. I go over here to my little Python button, and then you need to make your virtual environment. I don't use Conda. I use virtual environment or VENV. I just find it way easier. Click a couple buttons here, click enter. I'm not gonna do that. I'm sure there's a way to manage this better and like not have to reinstall all these pips and whatnot. But you know what? This way works out for me. So now we have a Python environment. I'm going to drag over my context grabber, which is key for the way that I code here. And you know what? We're gonna just copy these files over. And then I'm gonna add a new file called ws.py. And then we're gonna add a new file called paper.py. So now I will prompt convert, wait, I'm gonna delete backtest and get the context from that. But maybe I should wait. All right. We'll wait a little bit before we get into that project. I kind of want to run a little bit more backtesting. So core didn't change too much. And then, okay, we're still working backtest here. So this is part of the issue of my data. It doesn't match up exactly. So the cadence at which order book data was recorded was completely different from what the tick data that came in. So it came in at like different frequencies. So they're not fully matching up. So this is what it's kind of pointing out. I'm pretty sure 50 milliseconds got it to 90% coverage. Okay, the low insight is related to that show. Okay. All right. So I need to. We're gonna have to address that at some point. It's just gonna be in the back of my head that we have when we run this again. That we'll need to address the coverage back test. Honestly, where was that? Where did they find that? Okay. So all of this sort of bugs will show up in the backtest. So I'm not too worried about it right now. It'll all just kind of pop up in the backtest. They'll be like, oh, what's going on here? Like you only took this many trades. All right. Let me actually see. Okay. So you're right. We'll probably need a program, like a programmatic way to. This fix isn't just increase. Okay, you want a disciplined multi-step approach that diagnoses timing skew, adjusts joint policy and tolerance by regime, and measures the before and after impact so your slippage and P&L aren't biased. This is a concrete plan. Okay. Polar sketch. Okay. Um, we're just gonna solely um, focus on diagnosing and fixing the low trade. Okay. So I think we need to just we'll have to run this file. No big deal. I'm gonna just call it fix.py. No big deal. We will fix it. And yeah, we'll get this aligned because we don't want to mess around with bad data. Oopsies. All right. Boom. All right, let's fix it. Okay. Not working. So it's not the best at using polars, and that's what I'm using, I guess. Yeah. Um. Ah. Yeah, you run into this sort of error 429 issue with Horizon Beta, and the way I found to get around it is just kind of click on the retry button, and eventually it'll get through. A lot of people are probably using this model right now, and I know they've been having issues with their server, so. But it still works. All right. Wait, here's a complete fix on script. Let's get session expired. Wow, what's going on here? Okay, well, let's just log in over here. Okay. Just make sure this is up to date. Let's do quick answer. Tool for matching trade fills. Yep, that's what we need. Computing coverage, metrics, and diagnosing potential issues like outages. Okay. Infer tick from book. Okay. So this will be good data to put in the fix file. Hyperliquid data, it's always $1. Yeah, that tick size tick is $1. Okay. Quick answer. No, we're not waiting around here. Okay. Cool. We'll get this going. You know, problems like this happen with this sort of data. I thought it was okay, but apparently that sort of coverage where it's like some of the fills are not overlapping with the order book, like that's a big issue. Like that will skew the data. But that's why you run it backtest, get your data, then you go to live, which will use the real WebSocket data that's gonna get. And then once that shows promising results, then you're pretty much safe to say, okay, let's get the live strategy going. Or you can just go straight to live and test it that way. But you know what? Now I made some changes, but we got not too sure what this means. So all right, well, we'll get the fix to this and then we'll keep running it. We'll keep moving forward. We're eventually going to get this strategy going. Y'all are free to utilize the strategy. I don't really care if you can screen record this stuff. Yeah. We got to create that quant dev community, guys. That's the whole point here. I know quant stuff is so secretive and like your edge, you need to keep secret, but at the end of the day, I'm out here showing my edge, my strategy, completely out in the open. So it's no big deal. There's plenty of edge out there for everybody in the markets. You just gotta have better math, I guess. That's basically what's gonna differentiate us. Is the math. Okay. So I've done like a bunch of auditing, so maybe this. Yeah. So I've done this before where like we did it to 50 to 200 milliseconds. But I don't know if that just making that larger is the solution. Um, so yeah. It's let's see here. Okay, we'll run fix like it said there, and then we'll just add it to this giant file so that we know. Right. Python fix error. Let's see what it thinks. Okay, got it. Here doesn't have columns. Yeah. Okay. So it just didn't know it. I gave it the context for the data with that last one, so that's why we're getting this error. It didn't know how to read the data, but now it does. Get this going, guys. All right, what do we got on X here? Let's just quickly look. Horizon Alpha. Just do another. Let's see what we got. See what Sam Altman's talking about. Okay, so this is estimating worst case frontier risk. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So it's still not as good as their other one. So, and I've not been getting that great of results with O3. So I don't know if they've fixed it at all, but let's see. Python fix. I just want to run it like that. I don't want to have all these arguments. So, um, we'll keep probing this sort of what's the true solution for low trade match coverage. We'll keep probing that. GPT OSS is a big deal. It is state of the art open weights reasoning model. Strong real world performance comparable to O4 Mini, which was not good. That you can run locally. We believe is the best and most usable open model in the world. We're excited to make this model the result of billions of dollars of research. Yeah. This means absolutely nothing probably because Quint 3 Coder is open source. We got DeepSeek, which is open source. We have this new one, that ZAI, which is open source. And yeah, but they're making Horizon Beta, so that's what's up. Yeah, we're getting a lot of trouble here. A lot of trouble.
Yep.
So it keeps running into issues because it doesn't know the structure of this data. So I'm just telling it, hey, why don't we just print something out when I run it, have it print out in the terminal all the data you need. And that's all I kind of said. So that will actually fix the issue because it's kind of writing code blindly at these two data files, and I can't actually look at it like a normal CSV. I can like copy paste the columns and rows and whatnot. So I don't really know what's going on in there. There probably is a way to view a parquet. Is there a parquet? Wait, I want extensions. Parquet view. That honestly might be what I need. Get visualizer. I don't want to just data wrangler. No. The issue is if I do that and it's a giant file, I feel like that's not going to be good. I could easily just make a script that says that just pulls the raw data from that. Which actually is probably a good idea. I probably should do that. Okay. The timing mismatch. The primary reason is that trade timestamps in Phil's Parquet often don't align closely enough within the 20 milliseconds. So often, yes. The val outputs confirm significant gaps in both data sets and potential timing difference and data integrity issues. Okay. We will get this going again. So this will, okay. Well, that didn't pop out anything, but okay. Hold on. This is confusing me. Okay. This is all we need. We just need. Hey, who's Itotike? What? What is that? Itotike? What kind of name you got there? Who's that? Sasha or Chaz? Or Liz? Oh, Chmomki. What's up, Liz? We're we're live. We're live vibe coding. You found the chat. You're number two. Number two. You got XP points, Liz. All right. We're trying debugging. Yeah, I have 4 people watching. I don't know. There we have some lurking people. Look at those stats. Oh, I got 5 people watching now. See, I told you people would watch this. Okay. We're going raw.py here. And then we're going to pull Pull the schema. Okay. Let's see. That's taking way too long. Yeah. We need to close that out. That might crash the system here. No. Don't crash it. All right. Yeah, it was glitching there. It was almost crashing. I got to be careful because these files are hundreds of millions of lines of rows and stuff. So if I try and load it all into my memory, it will just fully crash the stream. And I will. What's up, Chaz? We got the chat. Get the chat going. Let's see. Yeah. Look at that. 30 views, Chaz. That's what's up. Okay. What is one file? File, ensure it doesn't. Yeah, we're famous. All right. Yeah, Chaz, I was doing this no matter what. Might as well be live doing it. I can pull everyone into the YouTube studio, but I've been getting a decent amount of, look, 6 concurrent viewers. Where are the 6 people, guys? Comment in the chat. Let's see here. Let's see. Raw fix. Oh, okay. Understood. Here's a single standalone script that won't crash and prints maximum diagnostic. Okay. It safely builds a pseudo L1 from fills. Now I kind of want to stop that, but I have max order book data, 20 levels of order book data. But I guess only like a couple levels matter. It doesn't matter that I have all these 20 levels because we're just trying to line up the fills with the order book data. So I guess that's irrelevant to what's the game plan on fixing the misalignment. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see what we got. Here's a focus game plan to diagnose and fix the time misalignment between trades and book. Run once to a robust solution. Okay, baseline. Okay. Confirm that you're using a real L1. Pseudo L1. What? This ain't no pseudo L1. We have real data. What is it talking about? All right. We're starting over. Context grabber. I am going to I need you to fix raw.py to pull the sample data from the data files I have. They are very large, 20 levels, and tick data don't crash my computer.
Okay. E to the K.
Oh boy. Hopefully Matt doesn't go do something bad. All right. Let's see what Sam Altman had to say again. OpenAI's mission. Just release ChatGPT 5. Like, that's all you need to do. Okay. We are getting the raw file here. This should fix all issues because so I already know what this should be. We'll let Grok think about it too. Fix. Yes, sir. This is what you're looking for. What do you need? You want the edge here? You want the core strategy? I got it all. We got all the edge and alpha here. I'm testing with high frequency data. Right now, we're just going to print out what it looks like because for some reason, the AI has trouble knowing what is in these two files because I purposely, yes. Well, I'm not going to do true high frequency. So that's the thing. I'm trading within my means. So I've already done a latency test on Hyperliquid. And from when I click market buy to acknowledging from the server back to me, it takes around 500 milliseconds to 1.5 seconds, depending on how much activity. So we're doing mid frequency, mid to low. Yeah, we're just doing mid frequency. We're not doing true high frequency. We can definitely simulate high frequency and do like immediate simulate being able to immediately fill, but I want something that can actually work in real life. So I've already done latency tests. I know my limitations. So this whole strategy is designed to use microstructure, so what high frequency would be doing, but extrapolating it further out. So I want the edge to be like max 90 seconds is like the whole time that we're looking at. So that's what we're up to. We're gonna back test the strategy. And yeah, follow if you want to learn more. Like, I give the whole strategy out. Like I have all the code right here. It's not so it's quite a bit. So right now the core is about 400 lines of code. This is the alpha, right? These are all going to be the decision engine. This is going to be the indicators. Yeah, I'm trying. I don't see many people trying this. Okay. So, all right, let me get back to it. Raw, Python, raw. Stoked that YouTube breaking soon. Yeah, follow me. I'm gonna be releasing videos about this. I'm sitting here doing this no matter what. I might as well go live, and I want to collect a community of people who like this sort of stuff. So I'm gonna share my back test. I'm gonna share the edge. We all can run together. There's not gonna be that many people who could even execute this in general. So I'm not concerned about edge decay or alpha decay or whatever it is. So this is what my data looks like. Let's see what AI thinks. And yeah, if you want to learn how I do all manual vibe coding, so it's the quickest way to get things going. This sort of strategy that I made, which is very sophisticated, took me about 20 minutes of just prompting back and forth with, I use Horizon Beta here, which is really good, and Grok 4. So any of the top tier models. But yeah, right now what we're running into issues with this sort of, so when you
get data, high frequency data, fill data, and order book data, the way that Hyperliquid was recording that data happened to not align perfectly. So there's all these quirks when dealing with high frequency data. It's actually much easier to run this strategy live, like a live paper test, than it is to back test. However, back testing is going to allow me to iterate a lot more and understand just a lot more about the strategy before going to live paper. So we'll do back test, we'll do live paper, and then we'll run it live with real money. That's kind of the way forward here. So I'm going to copy this. I'm going to add it to this here to see. I'm just going to give it my data here. Okay, so yeah, the raw file didn't pull exactly what we needed, so we needed to add a little bit more. Okay. I'll be right back. Okay. Yeah, so the real end goal is to eventually be able to run a co-located server and just go take this to the next level, right? Right now we're doing like the retail. I'm on a desktop PC. One day I want to be able to afford better, more traditional sort of like New York Stock Exchange data. That stuff costs a decent amount. Yeah, crypto is just like the best way to get started with this stuff because it's free data and yeah, you can trade with leverage. Pretty easy to set up here. Um, yeah, so okay, there we go. So I don't know if time is. I'm gonna have to new file. TXT. Okay. Jane Street did massive co-location for MIP. Yeah, they did. Yes. Um, and yes, high frequency trading. There's such a fine line between since everything's it's reacting so quickly and it's so hard to understand what it's actually doing unless you're like a developer. You really can't tell. But I guess the Indian authorities saw that. Um, yes, they're going to take advantage of overseas markets and try and manipulate and all that stuff. They're going to front run. They're going to do all sorts of things that aren't retail people aren't aware of. But at the end of the day, that's not where I'm at. I mean, maybe one day I'll be able to, if you have a bunch of money and a bunch of high frequency tradable servers, then yeah, you can do a lot of manipulation. You can do a lot of crazy strategies that are borderline. And I'm sure they're doing it right now in U.S. stock market. It's just there's a loophole to how they get away with it. There's always some sort of loophole. All right, let's see. All right, now we're taking a look at the data inside of so yeah, it's just as raw as possible.
Okay. All right, let's see. Okay, so this is perfect. This is exactly what we're gonna need. So yeah, for some reason, Phil's and order book is not fully aligned, and we need to make sure that I need a quick answer here. This is not. All right, we'll try this here. Um, so we'll do that, and then we will direct this guy's attention towards that issue of misalignment. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not too worried about the large gaps. Um, oh, okay, I see. So I am worried about the gaps now because if there are gaps in the data, aligning just shifting the data around, it might mess up these outages. So, um, um, a back test will be accurate. Yep, Jane Street and that. Actually, let's do a little research into that. Um, what strategy was Jane Street using to manipulate the Indian options market or just the stock market? Oh, not agent mode. This is okay. Let's get a little data on that. Let's see what Jane Street was doing. I'm interested. I'm interested in what, because I did like a whole sort of deep dive on like what's possible, and it's 100% like some crazy loopholes. Because if you can react within microseconds, you can get that sort of, you can get the acknowledgement from the server within microseconds. Like that is wild. Massive volume. I mean, at the end of the day, when you have a lot of money, you can manipulate, you can create those waves. Um, let's go a little bit further into what. Okay, pump early, profit later. Okay. Wow, they were doing on Bank Nifty. Okay, did you mean Jane Street? If so, the alleged playbook, Sebi says they use cases going on, but okay. Of course, Jane Street denies. All right, so what do? On Bank Nifty option expiry days, they allegedly bought the index's bank stocks, cash plus futures, in the morning, lifting the index. At the same time, they built much larger short positions in the index options. Okay, designed to pay. Okay. So they were like hedging, but with that amount of money, you're just, yeah. So at the end of the day, they're probably doing this on the US stock market. It just happens to be that the Indian stock market is not as liquid, and so is affecting price way more. Flip the switch later in the session, they dump those long stocks position features. Okay. Okay. And then they were profit from. Okay. Yeah, exactly. They're just profiting off the liquidity. So they were the market movers.
They know what they're going to do, so they hedged the outsized option position relatively to underlying. Okay, distorted price, and all right. So it was probably causing huge volatility issues. And of course, they were doing this in high frequency, so they were able to. Okay. Ugh. Keyboard. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Either way. Yeah, there's big players making big waves out there. Um, and let's be real, they probably were like a large chunk of the liquidity on that market. Fix. Okay. I'm just gonna focus on our little play here. So Python fix.py. All right. Well, the audit report didn't come up with anything. Hmm. Fully refactor a fix file. It was wrong. Make it align with my frequency data. Yeah. That's wild. Let's go. What was see what let's probe it a little bit more. User is asking about the manipulation. Yeah, it's wild to think about it more deeply. It's cheating. So once you can get near that server and get that latency down, like the quicker or the shorter that latency, the more strategies. But they're able to trade at essentially for free. So that's the thing. I have a bunch of fees that I need to pay, and they're probably not paying that many fees. So an options-led index arbitrage play that's semi-labeled as intraday index manipulation. So what this means in plain English, load up a short delta option on the book the same day. Yep. Okay, so we're doing 0 day expiration option. At the same time, buy the bank's stocks. Okay, and futures early, nudging the index up and making those options pricier to sell into later. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's okay. Yeah, I don't even think you need high frequency to do that. Obviously, they were implementing it, but yeah, that's just a classic big player making. Now, what we could have done was use Python to kind of see these sort of order flows. You would see on the order book and tick data someone like loading up, or you'd see a big options buy or whatever, and you could see this sort of data with um, with the Python script that you would create to essentially follow their edge, and you would see, you know, you would see the flows essentially. But that's not we're not trading on that stock. I don't know if I can get access to Indian stock market data like that, nor do I think I could trade on it. We'll focus on crypto because everyone can do that. Okay. Now we're chunking it out. We're gonna see what's up. Um, they are chunking it up. All right. See, that's not good. It didn't show. Okay, hold on. Okay. All right. Let us see. This file, yes, the file provides significant additional context and confirms the analysis and potential solutions for the low trade match coverage. All right, so what I'm trying to do is just do another audit on this data. I think this is just honestly getting rid of it. We have the raw files here, which is perfect. This gives us, okay, so that's the order book. Where is, okay, and the fill data right here. Okay. So it gives us what the data is. I don't know why it says L1. It should be L2, but whatever. I'll make sure I have it labeled correct. See? All right. We're going to run this again. And this will give us a better idea of what millisecond to set our offset to. So, yeah. Run that. Ugh. See what comes out of it. Chunk it out. All right. Oh, see, it's not showing. It's all good. This should give us enough data here. You know what we're gonna do? We're getting Grok in here. He knows best on this stuff. He knows best. We're gonna go bam. We're gonna go raw. And then we're just gonna give it. And then we're gonna run that. Okay. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer some. Or you can just follow along. It's a long process, a lot of iterative processing. Yeah. The back test is by far one of the harder things I've done with like Python, I guess. It really just comes down to the way this data. If I had the clean data already, I could pay like $1,000 and get some data. But I did it for essentially pennies, and I got at least 3 months of high frequency data. Now I could start recording data, but I'm not gonna just like have my computer on recording high frequency data like that. Not worth it to me. When Hyperliquid offers this sort of stuff, it just takes a ton of effort to get it ready for a back test, and I'm also going to use it to train AI and all sorts of other stuff. So, we're going to
Let's see. Um, yep. Okay. It wants me to run it again. Yeah. Error. Let's see. So Grok has a little bit more knowledge about the polars, more updated syntax in the polars library. So let's see what Bitcoin's up to. Wow. It is moving up. Okay. This is what we're targeting here. That looks decent. What did S&P 500 do? Okay, just like mean revert into the middle there. Okay, let's see. We'll restart that context. We'll restart that context. Yeah. Gain Street apparently did nothing wrong. They've done nothing wrong on the. They're just trading their normal strategy with a lot of money. That's all they're doing. And I guess when you have that, when you have a ton of money, you need to do these sort of hedging strategies because you are creating the waves in the market. And you know when you pull your liquidity, you're going to drive the market down. You might as well have that hedge on the other side. So if you're making the market move, you might as well have all the right things in place to profit from it. So, I mean, what they were doing was pretty smart. All right. Let's get the data. I'm going to reset this. Don't like what it was doing. Okay. 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 Wow. And it did it perfectly. Yes, Grok. Let's go. Let's just confirm everything ran well. The order book data spans from yes. So I have May 25th through July 27th data with 390 million rows. If you're not using a, like, for example, my computer has, it's Windows 11. I got the Ryzen 9 7900X. I got a 5070 Ti, and I got 32 gigs of RAM of DDR5. And I'll crash my computer sometimes running a 390 million row. If you're trying to load that entirely in the RAM, I should update my RAM because I am starting to use the whole thing. So, okay, to audit. Okay. Potential concerns. All right, coverage at 50. This is what this is on the low side for high frequency audit. Ideally, you want 80 to 95% for robust. Ah, okay. Looks good enough to proceed. Yes, for the initial audits, data integrity is high, and the script is now stable, but tuned for higher coverage. How do I? All right.
Um, tune.py. I want a file specifically for tuning. So, yeah. I will just go ahead and put that into raw. Don't necessarily need all of that. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna tune it. I mean, we're gonna see 50, 100, 150, 200. Yeah, we're gonna see which one is best. And this tuning is essentially aligning the frequencies together. So, new file, tune.py. Okay, wow, we got a whole. We'll keep those for now. Get some errors. All right. It's gonna fix tune. We'll get this going. Is there a way to see? Okay. This is every millisecond. Heartbeat fills. Yeah, I mean, we're gonna get this close as possible. If not, we'll just go live and yeah. I'm pretty sure I got 90% covered with 50 milliseconds of different tuning. So yeah, we'll see what this ends up with. Oh, new chat. Come on, Grok, you got to do better. What happens if I got a stand-up desk here, so I'm gonna stand it up. They'll probably lose chroma key, but it's all good. Oh well. Oh, it's kind of reaching there. Yeah. Okay. It's all good if it's a little bit off like that. Actually, does this go up more? Oh, it might, yeah. Look at that. Oh, it goes up more for sure.
Oh, look at that. That's going way up. Well, I need to fix this thing. Yeah. Oh. Bear with me for a little bit. I need to fix this. Oh, that's falling over. Needs to be a little bit more stable there. Okay. How's that looking? Look at that. Perfect. Oh, shit. Yep. Okay. We're here. We're back. We are going to run this one more time. We're gonna, yeah. We need to tune the data, tune the frequencies, and yep, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna tune the frequencies, and then we're gonna start running the back test because there's one little number that we need. It's either 50 milliseconds or it's a higher number, but okay. See how we're testing different milliseconds there? We're gonna get a nice range and align the data so that we have good coverage. So apparently 90% will be really good for high frequency data. But we will find out. Find out together. What is the tuning? What do we got here? So. I'm going to go ahead and just grab context. Go back to terminal. Looks like it's going through a wave of tuning, I guess. I'm not sure why it's doing that, but okay. Let's show Grok what happened. Tune results. We got it. This will give us the answer. Look at that. Okay. We got our answer. We're going to go back here and we're going to delete this big ol' rando chunk of non-important data. Okay, that's just like a progress bar. And delete that. We're going to put this in there as well.
And we're going to, okay. Now, when I grab context, take raw data, I will amend it to the code. And then we're just gonna give it to Horizon. Okay. Fix issues in code. Cool. All right, let's see if this can help me at all. That's too bright. All right. What we got going on here? Thanks for the detailed run logs of the repository dump. I reviewed the raw inspection audit. Below are the targeted fixes, polars, +2 compatible consistent. Okay, so it's kind of fixated on. I actually don't care about fix or tune anymore. So we're gonna have to redo that. We'll redo that one because it fixated on code that I did not necessarily care that it was looking at. So I really only care about these 3 files. Oh, well, okay. It's gonna, so when I do that, I forgot that my context output, well, whatever. Okay, context outputs out. System specs will be added to. Okay. All right, we're gonna go get more water. Be right back. Huh. Okay. We'll get the output full code files for fix. Okay on that. Oh wow. I just rammed through some some glass.
Wow. It's Unitree's got some advanced robotics. All they need now is the software, and it can be um good. Oh wow, face planted. That is wild. Wow, it's just sending it down. Let me turn it down. No way, he's gonna jump on it. What? Okay. He's got some climbing abilities here. Okay, can go down really, really steep steps. It's really good at flipping. Oh wow, that's too loud. We're gonna pause that, double check on what we got going on here. Not ready yet. Yeah, we'll keep that in there. Yeah, it's a lot of potential applications for this type of robot. Particularly carrying things for sure. Mm. Brian Johnson's doing methylene blue. All right. We'll get config loaded up in there. We'll get core in there. We already have that data saved, so we can. And then the back test file waiting for. Just. All right. So now that we have our tune results, we can move on. Finally. You know how many times I've thought we've moved on and then we had to move back and then we moved on? So what really matters when it comes to high frequency data is the alignment, like the frequency and alignment of those timestamps. So what I'm saying is like make sure that fills has an order book snapshot to that sort of timestamp. I guess that's what that means. And then yeah, they don't always perfectly align up apparently. Because a snapshot might have missed some sort of fill, but it's mostly the same. So if there's, yeah, we'll figure it out. What? Oh, I left raw in there. Oops, we don't need raw anymore, but actually raw is somewhat useful for understanding. All right, let's just see what happens. All right, getting some good errors here. Let's keep it moving. Let's just see what raw. Okay, it didn't get raw, but I don't actually care about raw. Let's go. Still good there. Invert book mistakenly used data frame style. Okay. All right, let's get that. Come on, dude. Come on. So, okay, we'll get this going. Get some back tests in, tune the strategy. If this is just not giving me the results that I'm looking for, which is just, I guess, a sharp around 1, if not higher, that'd be ideal. I don't know if I'll be able to get an accurate sharp time snapshot from just the 2 months of data. You know, it's all a lot of unknowns here, but this should give me a robust ability to handle my needs for a strategy. But it's always just research. Let's research. So research. Okay, I'm gonna have to new room. I have to get Grok in here because we need him. We need him to give us the good polars. And then raw will need this at the top. So get Grok going here. Grok does usually take a minute to load. And I'm gonna let it think for as long as it wants to. Let's see if Horizon Beta is working. Let's give it web search. I forgot how good it was. It's really good at web searching, so if it has outdated knowledge, see, it's also quicker too. It's the thing. Grok is going deep. We'll wait for both and then give them context. What's going on here with the, oh, we got 5 people. We got 5 concurrent viewers. What is up? Anybody in the chat? I can answer questions. Y'all are aspiring quant devs, looking to make some money trading. You know, we're all out here doing the same thing. At the end of the day, this software, I'm hoping I can set it free with a couple thousand. Oh my God, Sasha, you're here. Sasha's in the chat. Let's go. Sasha's my #1 fan. That's what's up, Sasha. You're gonna be coding soon, aren't you? Oh my god, that's great. Yeah, we got chat. Yeah. Now, who are the other 5 people, Sasha? That's we got. Maybe we got Big, we got Liz, maybe Chaz. It's the whole fam watching. All right. Let's keep it rolling here. What did Grok say? We're going to give Grok to that. And let's see. See if we can't get a back test going. Okay, you're right. The failure comes from L2 to L1, step inside. Where Polar's lazy optimizer, but I'm not sure if your data set is clean L2 columns. Wait, L1, I have L20 data, right? Why are we removing layers? Right, why is it trying to remove? You do have L2 data. It's not layers. Okay, well, it's thinking about neural nets. Level 1, top of book only. Yes. In your backtest, we're not removing layers in the model. We're aggregating market data into top of books. The rest of the pipeline can compute mid-spread. Okay. Mid-price is not good for $1 tick level data from Hyperliquid. Will be 50 cents all the time. So, please adjust code to handle this. Come on, Horizon Beta. Got it. With the dollar tick size and Hyperliquid BTC perp, the naive bid. Yeah, almost always. If your downstream logic assumes prices live on the tick grid, you want mids that reflect tradable grid. Yes. Okay. Okay. Output full code files that fix issues. Only files that need to be changed. Okay. All right, below the fully fixed image. And fine fix it. Add optional tick. Aligned mid rounding to avoid half tick example. Okay. Yep. All right. So we're going to get all the new files and run the back test. Genie 4.1 Opus. Wait, did Claude come out with a new? Oh. Wow. Okay. Look at that. We do have 4.1 Opus. Now, what is 4.1 Opus? So it's slightly better. Okay. Slightly better at coding and agentic. It's the best one in the world? Let's see what it compares to. Okay. So look, it's not as good as math as any of these. Visual reasoning's not there. Okay, multilingual is good. agentic tool use, which is big for its own sort of Claude flow. Yeah. So those stats are pretty much skewed. Oh, okay. That is good to know. Shoot. I might have to re-up my plan. But we'll work that later. Config. Okay. We got core. Nope. Okay. Wow, okay, that's pretty cool. Okay, 4 big A models. Okay. All right. Wait, what? Potentially better? Yeah, the Coliseum looks wild. Hmm. See what 4 Opus is doing on web design. Yeah. This might be, yeah, it's like 2 to 4. Okay. All right. It's not that much of a breakthrough. Horizon is honestly way better, probably. We'll eventually get into my website, QuantDev.ai. We'll build that out. But I need to get some back tests going. So while back testing, if it takes a long time to back test, we can work on another project at the same time. But right now, it's just like all hands on deck to get this thing working so that you can see some progress here. Okay, this is. All right. That's way faster. Dun, dun, dun. Back test. All right. Python back test. Let's go. No errors. Come on. We can do this. No errors. And also, let's not crash my computer. Let's check that out. All right. It's not using that much memory. Good. Let's talk about should we pre-compute I'm just going to ask if we should build out the short answer is yes. Pre-computing some indicators can be a good idea if reduced speed work and stabilize a pipeline, but do it selectively, focus on heavy. Okay. So maybe it's not. Error.
Um, where is that? Yeah, we got, look at that. What? Okay, good news is fast and okay. Output full code files, ensure full verbose debug prints and metrics are in terminal and full data is output full code files for fix. I'll be right back. Okay. All right, we got 4 people. All right, let's get this code running. All right, we're gonna blow the full updates with the full fixes, enhanced verbose debugging, and runtime metrics printed to the terminal. I added detailed progress logs, row counts, timing, memory snapshots, schema prints. There we go. This will give us as much information as we need. So the more data you can get in the terminal to copy paste into the AI, the better it is going to know how to fix the code. So let's see what Opus V1 can do with this. Let's see. Yeah, QuantDev.ai. Forgot what's going on here. Okay, that's pretty cool still. Yeah. Huh. Okay. I can probably prompt it in a little bit, but let's get this first. Hello, viewers. I see there's a couple more people in here. Any questions on what I'm doing or? No, one person left. I want to speak up. And minimize that. Kind of like it up here. Nope. It's gonna get covered up. All right, we got the core.py and
Yeah, and try out 4.1 Opus too, might as well. No. What is this? Ah, okay. You just need a pip install. Pip install that. Okay. Let's see what open. I'm trying to think what I was getting at with my React code base here. Let's just take a look at it. Huh. So you can see this project I was working on. It's kind of like a visualizer for an algorithm, but there's no visualization per se just yet. There are these sort of things I don't necessarily understand down there. Okay, I see. We got VPN, we got OFI. There's some autonomous microstructure aware, low latency. Now, my question is it going to stream across and eventually remove that candle, or is it going to crunch it forever until we see? Well, I guess we'll find out here. All right. Let's get back tests. That's what we were waiting on. Yeah. Okay. Okay, Jupyter wanted to be restarted. Python backtest. Okay. So there goes. There goes with the air. Look at that, it's crunching. It's not actually. And then let's say if I switch it, that remains, and that messes with the trade imbalance. Go back to BTC. Okay, so there's some big bugs going on in this thing. Big old bugs. We'll close that out. We will prompt it to say, I want this to not to be better, have the indicators more visually stunning over the K line, ensure performance and K line streams but doesn't overload, and ensure switching assets causes resetting the indicators and all of that things. Oh, okay. We're gonna try out Opus 4.1. Make it better. UI just like trading view. Let's just say that. Okay. All right. Additionally, consider that L1 versus L2 bases are aligned. The industry top of book L1 is best bid, L2 is price ladder depth. Okay. I don't think I'm going to use that right now. Main Street. Keep doing it. Oh, this is a while ago. Okay, this is United Health Group is going down. Wow. Okay, yeah, Genie 3 looks so cool. Honestly, that would be insane if you were doing VR. If that was like a little bit higher resolution, I feel like that is like gonna be really, really cool. Just walking around some volcano, that'd be sweet. Let's see what we got on Claude. See, I'm giving it a chance here. Just yeah, see it's just converting it into a single file, which is fine. It'll probably just show me in the UI here, which I can then later um, utilize, but vectors. Core. Bam. Okay, it's done. Woo. Let's get the backtest running again. And we're not giving up. Okay. It was running, but it wasn't actually working. Uh-oh. Am I lagging? We're definitely maxing stuff out here, but we're still alive. Almost 50 views. Let's go. Let's grab the context. We're going to throw it into. Oh. Uh-oh. We're going to get raw text here, context output. Nope. It's definitely some lag. Computer is maxed. CPU is maxed out. GPU is chilling. Memory is efficiently being used, it looks like. It's nicely hovering right out at the top. Did we get an error yet? No, no. Okay. Looks like we're running. We're gonna wait for this to either error out or give me the metrics that I need.
It's going. Now, how long it takes is unknown. An unknown thing. Okay. Stuff good here. We're good. Uh, this doesn't look better. I think that's a fail. I don't even see anything happening. It messed it up. Nope. No. Okay. I'm gonna give it one more chance. I need full code files for my existing project. Not one giant file. Full code files in chat. Do not use the canvas feature tool. We'll try it again. You know, I always got to prompt it a couple times, but I feel like I prompted it like 3 times and then my use is done for $20 a month, which is not. Okay. Look, I'll use whatever it gives me here and then I'll give it a chance. Like we can't just ignore it because this is a new 4.1. But they definitely see Horizon Beta and okay, so we are successfully running a backtest. Unfortunately, this is not loading properly. Let's see if we can't get any optimization. From this. If we can get it to run quicker, that means I can iterate faster. Okay, great. Here's how to play the recommended parameters and stabilize performance plus concrete code changes. So if you ever run into this issue, just hit that retry button a couple times. And it should get through. There it goes. Okay. Now my concern is if I try and do React development, it's gonna crash the computer. I definitely need to get more RAM. How much is RAM nowadays? I feel like that's a limiting my ability. Let's look at how much RAM is. Mm. I'm looking for maybe. Okay. 128 gigabytes is going to be $300. I think that's a decent price. Um, Now the issue is I already have. I'm gonna have to figure out what type of memory. Actually, I probably could figure that out. AI mode, right? How do I figure out what RAM specs I have? I'm pretty sure we just go to system, information. I don't know if that's going to affect anything. Um, okay, which type of RAM do I have? Yes. Hmm. Oh, wait. Does this give me more? Oh, speed is. Uh, so I have 4800 MTS. Okay. I honestly think that's um yeah, I don't know. I'll have to figure that out later. I probably need more data or my more. If I have more RAM, I can load more of the Parquet file in and then feed it into the CPU. But actually, I'm not sure if that will speed up because the CPU looks to be the bottleneck at this point. It's 100%. Now we could optimize for the GPU, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Hmm. I really want to let this run to completion, but I'm very tempted also just to stop it. Uh, Very tempted to stop it. I just don't know. It could be. I've run a back test where it took like 2 days to finish. So if it's not optimized properly, it could take 2 days or a day. So um,
And the issue is I don't have a, well, actually, okay. There probably is a way that's really slow. I think we're gonna stop it. Yeah. We did not like what was going on there. It was looping and not doing the thing it needed to do. So sort book once. Huh. What is this new sort? This is a pre-processing feature sort. Now, okay, we will get all this code in here and then we're gonna probe it a little bit more before running. Back test. We got core. Config. All right. Now, let's get like Gemini. Open editors. Okay. Let's get raw. Let's get a new. Let's see what O3 has to say. Let's see what Glenn has to say. Let's see what Gemini has to say. Grok has to say. And then we'll use all that into Horizon, see what it has, so that we can get the backtest rolling. Is there an artifact? Cool. All right. Okay, Basin provides sweep results from tune, which yes. Okay, I see. We're just gonna go. Up at all the code files. We're gonna probe on that. Um, ah, Mm-hmm. Interesting. $20 billion. I don't know if that. Oh, it works with 16 gigabytes of RAM. Okay, so I could run this locally. See what it made here. Honestly, that's not that great. What is that? Get jacked. Muscles lower the risk of obesity. And so, yep. Hmm. I don't know about that. Oh my god. Pro mode, basically O3 Pro, but for the new OpenAI model. Oh, cool. Wait, what? So explain this a little bit more. Hmm. All right, let's see what Grok, if Grok has the code ready. All right. Go config. We will go back test. We're gonna get, what is that? Core. Let's see if core finished up. It did not finish up. We'll wait for core to finish. I guess in the meantime, what did Opus do? Opus, did you do what yeah, okay. Look at that. 2 prompts. It took 2 prompts to hit my usage limit on a $20 a month. I don't know about that, okay? Everyone else has better usage. And I know everyone's like spamming this with Claude code, and honestly, it's a good business model for them because people are using up that Claude code crazily. Crazily. All right, source. Index, where are you? There it is. Right, so that's what you said, yeah. Okay. We're gonna go source main TSX. Okay. We're gonna go app TSX. Okay. File is that. Indicators. Or was it workers? Indicator worker.ts. Okay. Keep it going. We're gonna have use K-line engine hooks. Okay, I'm seeing errors. I didn't have any errors before. Oh no. It's not looking good for Opus 4.1. Getting errors. But we will prevail. I'll give your code a chance. Components, hero. Oof. That's not looking good. Okay, this is clearly the CSS theme. Okay. So it must have changed the theme on me. And types. Yes. Oof. Oh no. Look at all these problems. I didn't have any of these problems before. Get closed out. Claude, what are you doing? What did you do to my code? Okay. Let's keep pushing on. Bitcoin's pushing downwards. Nice little step down. When we can just reset that. Reset that. What is this? It's still core it's working on? Yeah, it is. Well, okay. All right, so let's just like recap what we're doing. We are just tuning the code, figuring out why the backtest's taking so long, trying to optimize just perfectly so that it's just going to run in a decent amount of time. We're more than likely going to do some pre-processing of the data. I feel like that's kind of our next thing here is to pre-process. So the sort, there's this sorting. Yeah, we're going to see what kind of pre-processing that we're going to do. But core is getting output. Yeah, this is looking good. We have a very sophisticated strategy and it takes a lot of back and forth, but eventually it's going to run clean and we'll get the data and then iterate on the strategy again, repeat the process over and over and over again until we get the best algorithm, and then move forward from there. But we can also do many different things. Like we can start the paper, live paper trading. That will be good. I can throw in config and core into the live paper trading and then get that just to start running live. But if we're running live and a back test at the same time, it will more than likely crash the computer. So if I get a good time frame on how long a back test will take, that will be ideal. Okay, raw I do not need. I just need core here. Look at that. Okay, raw is not needed, but if it's gonna give me better raw data, then maybe I'll take it. Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. Did anything change? Not a dang thing changed. Did sort change? Not really. Okay. Why should I run sort before the backtest? Is there any can do to make backtest quicker? Can we backtest in a novel way, like pre-compute features, then run an alpha extraction script to see if the data, the algo will be profitable? Just throwing some things out here. You know, you never know what's gonna work till you ask it. So I'll address your question. Says, my sorting is necessary before running the backtest.
Additional pre-processing steps to speed up the backtest and whether it's possible to backtest in all ways. Yeah. Okay, running sort before the backtest is critical because it ensures the order book data is sorted by event time millisecond. Here's why this matters. Is used heavily in the core. Okay, processes sorted data faster for operations like filtering. Okay. So chunked L1 processing in core function processes book in time. All right, sort data, ensures sequential access. All right, so it's going to speed it up. Temporal integrity, config, additional pre-processing. Okay. The backtest process is 394 million book rows. Okay, to make it quicker, consider these pre-processing. Pre-compute the L1 order book. Okay. Down sample or filter data. Hold on. Um, uh, does any of my indicators even use that much data? Maybe we can filter down some of those. Lay out a new file that create. We're gonna do a quick answer here because I'm not looking to think forever. We're pushing this. We're gonna keep pushing for this. To streamline the pre-processing of your data and optimize the backtest, we can create a single script that combines the sorting, L1 extraction, and indicator pre-computation steps into one cohesive. Here we go. All right. To streamline the pre-processing of your data and optimize the backtest, we can create a single script that combines the sorting of L1 extraction, indicator pre-computation steps into one cohesive process. Given that your order book data contains 20 levels of depth, as indicated by raw output showing side with max as 20 per time, we'll evaluate which indicators use the steps and filter down to only the necessary L1 data to reduce memory and pre-computation overheads to produce a leaner data set. Below, I'll analyze the indicator usage, propose a new step. So, wow, everything's using just L1. Okay. Okay. Mm. So all of my indicators are not using the full depth, which I know for a fact actually extrapolating out, having a little bit more than one layer of order book data is useful. But like I said, if we can just get some sort of
baseline, then then we'll be good to go. So we'll go ahead and pre-process. We'll go ahead and config. It's fine. Backtest. Still loading. Okay. Oh, okay. All right, unfortunately, this is going to take so long. No. But we can still get the back test here. Okay. So yeah. So if we need to, we can always expand the levels of order book data that we're going to use for any of our indicators. Usually like 5 depth layers is going to be good for like a multi-layered order flow imbalance. But I think if we can just read L1 and make profitable decisions off just of L1, then yeah, that's honestly better because there's a lot of spoofing going on outside of those ranges, and it's yeah. I'm gonna double check that we're not whatever. Sort and raw can be deleted. Okay. Oops. This is gonna take, it said it's gonna take like 30 minutes to do this. So, yeah. So I think what are we gonna do here? Oh, it's working. Something's going on here. We're just gonna minimize that and work on another project. That's probably our best bet. So what I was doing was we were looking at my React project, and we're trying to make a visual algorithmic thing. We're trying to visualize an algorithm that you designed, but it's going to be in React, so it's mostly just a visual thing. We are going to we will see how good Horizon Beta is at Let's see if I'm following that. What the hell's going on here? We're out. Hey, it's running. Probably just gonna run all night. The data sorted. Yeah, it's going. Okay. So hero. Hero. Okay. Still some issues there. This is use K-line engine. Okay, still an issue there. This is indicator worker. Will be done. It is. So we're gonna just open all of these files. Make sure there's nothing wrong. Yeah, we got that one. We got that one. Assets there. Um, full code files for the fix. How long have we been on live? Okay, let's see what we can do here. And then maybe I'll get off live and then let this sort. Was it sorted already? No, it's gonna run for so long. Okay. We'll just put that off in the background for now. Back testing, put on pause. But we will be working on this file.
Hold up. All right, I'll be right back. I'm gonna get some food.
Okay. What happened here? Quickly needed some fuel. It's invisible. Didn't fix it. It's fine. And the hero. Okay, so it fixed hero. But so actually I don't really mind that with CSS error. You care about that one though. Let's check on the back test. We're still processing the data. It's gonna take an hour. So I don't know. We can move on to live. I think that's probably the best thing. Yeah, back testing is one hell of a thing. So, that being said, getting some energy back after breathing. Okay. Let's see if we can't fix this React. See if we can't get this fixed, and then we'll move on to live. Like, let's just go live paper. So easier. Come. Oh, interesting. I don't know why you'd want that though. So I can copy it. Okay. All right. Look at that. That fixed it. And now for the grand reveal. Oh no.
No? Oh, my bad. Grand reveal? Oh. Now the grand reveal. What did we make? Look at this. It almost looks like a. What in the hell did we make? What is this? This does not look correct. Nope. That's a total fail. Also, using indicators that I do not really care about. All right. Put that one on pause. Let's go back to live paper. This is where it gets interesting because backtesting is decent, but actually a live paper trading data will be more informative for our trading strategy than the actual backtest. So we'll just go off what we got here. We'll probably end up changing it a lot. Okay. Um, or hyperliquid. Metrics, max, print, and terminal. And um, what else do we need to kind of forget what we need to add in there, but you know what? We need system specs. That's what we need. Minimize that. We're going to keep pushing this for sure. Yeah, that's it. They got it. Want a cucumber. All right, we got WebSocket. Paper is probably going to be a big file. Okay. Now, so make sure we'll get all of the updated. We won't need polars. Why? Just see why I want to use polars. I'd rather use like NumPy or some shit like that. Okay, that's interesting. All right. Anything that uses Rust under the hood is okay with me. So I'm gonna this is not much compute power I have left here. Uh, literally using 100% of it. Oh, update pip. Okay. All right. So, all right. I think we're gonna call it because I really can't run a live paper, nor can I do a back test. So I think we're kind of stuck here. I could do web dev stuff, but yeah. All right. We will. I'll see you tomorrow. Yeah, we're gonna end the live stream. What have we learned today? That backtesting on high frequency data is very difficult, and we'll get to it. We're gonna do live. We're gonna go backtest, and yeah, like we're gonna pre-process this high frequency data, so it's a quicker backtest, and we can iterate more. But yeah, we'll catch you, or I'll catch you in the next one. Follow, and yeah, let me know how to improve the stream if needed, if you guys watched to the end, which would be very unlikely some of it, but all right, we'll see you guys later.